What's up? A to Z Sports Titan Game Day live from Mill Creek Brewing Company in Nolensville, Tennessee, as the Tennessee Titans back on the road. All of the Titans road games we broadcast here from Mill Creek Brewery in Nolensville, Tennessee. So come out here, enjoy some great food and great drinks with us for our pregame, halftime, and postgame shows all today as the Titans at the Steelers in a game where if the Titans win this, they're the 1 seed in the AFC after the Colts take down the Patriots last night in Indy. A big game on the horizon. We are just about 25 minutes away from kickoff in Pittsburgh. Buck Rising on the ground with us in Pittsburgh. Austin Stanley, Zach Bingham here in Nolensville, Mill Creek. Big game today. We've got several things to talk about, big storylines, and we're going to go off our guts today in this pregame show presented by Nashville Power Sports, NashvillePowersports.com to get your brand new custom golf carts. So check them out, NashvillePowersports.com. Also, BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app today. Use our code ATOZ Sports. You get a risk-free bet up to $1,000 with your first bet after your first deposit. The Steelers are a 1-point favorite as of right now. It's been flip-flopping all over the place, crossing that line between the Titans being an underdog or a favorite. The Titans are really good this year as road underdogs. The only time they've lost as a road underdog was at New England a few weeks ago. But, Zach, we're going to talk about gut feelings today. How's that gut feeling right now?
Man, it's Dabo Swinney, bring your own guts. And I am fired up.
Are you?
I am. I have something running through the blood, the veins today, because they were gifted. Last night, the Colts did exactly what the Titans needed them to do. What are the Titans and Mike Vrabel and his team going to do to take advantage of that gift? We're in the Christmas spirit. We're festive. We got balloons live here.
Christmas tree over your left shoulder.
Right, live here from Mill Creek. Take it. Take what is yours, the number 1 seed. And I said this in my tweet this morning. Do it for the king. He's going to return. Your team's going to be different in the playoffs. This can solidify who you are as a football team. And we'll go through the stats and the history of Pittsburgh and the Titans. They're going to have to change some history because notoriously not very good in Pittsburgh, not very good against the Steelers in the last, let's say, 10-plus years. Ryan Tannehill, Julio Jones, Bud Dupree, and this defense going to have to step up today and get a win against a vulnerable Pittsburgh Steelers team. This is not your Ben Roethlisberger mid-2000s team. They're battered, they're bruised, and they can take advantage of a big win today and get in the driver's seat of the AFC.
Yeah, it's a big opportunity. And so let's get into this because gut feelings, I like doing this because the true emotions of this game. Vegas thinks it's going to be a tight game. I kind of feel like it's going to be a tight game. 2 offenses that do struggle a bit and 2 defenses that can get after the quarterback. With TJ Watt active today, he's got a groin injury. So what's going to go on with TJ Watt? The Steelers are really good when TJ Watt can finish a game and play a lot of snaps. Also, back for the first time for the Steelers in a month is Joe Hayden. They're a really good cornerback. Can Julio Jones put pressure on Joe Hayden's foot injury that's cost him a month? Because you got these 2 guys who were superstars like 3 years ago. I don't know if Joe Hayden and Julio Jones count as superstars this year, but a big opportunity to see who can come out of that matchup and make a big impact.
Yeah, it's going to be big for Ryan Tannehill. They're going to have to run the football as well. We'll talk about this. But let's start before we get to our guts. I did a little research. You got to go back in history. And the best part is we got a great audience, a great live feed. They're Titans fans that are educated and have seen this. Let's just call it a rivalry. I mean, they faced each other quite a bit of times. But the Titans 6-9 in their last 15 games. And here's more importantly, this is what has to change.
Against the Steelers?
Against the Steelers. But in Pittsburgh, the last 5, the Titans are 1-4.
Woo.
So that has to change today. I think they get some of their big players back. I think Julio Jones, as he returned last week, didn't re-injure his hamstring. That's good. Gets another week under his belt. And Bud Dupree is going to be a big storyline. Who's going to outperform? Coming off of injury, you have TJ Watt, in which you mentioned, and you have Bud Dupree. They both they're paid super.
Handsomely, to say the least.
You talk about millions and millions. How are they going to show out today and rush the quarterback? And who is going to be hampered? Is it going to be Tannehill or is it going to be Ben Roethlisberger by that respected pass rush? We'll find out.
Yeah, and no Roger Saffold today for the Titans, and I believe Aaron Brewer is going to get the go at left guard today with Nate Davis at right guard. I did see Buck's tweet from earlier this morning that Mike Vrabel and John Robinson both hovering over Aaron Brewer during a pregame workout to see what that toe was going to be like, because Brewer did not practice on Friday, so that's a key thing too. The Steelers are not very good against the run, though. So as good as T.J. Watt, Cam Hayward, and the rest of the Steelers' front defense is at getting after the quarterback, not good against the run. I believe they're 30th.
Well, ask Dalvin Cook.
Yes. And
He'll tell you.
Right. Dalvin Cook just ripped off and, really destroyed the Steelers' defense early in that game last week. The Steelers coming off a mini bye as well. So, man, I don't want to get to my gut feeling yet, because I don't want to be the wet blanket on this. That's a little foreshadowing. So let's go ahead and ask everybody else what their gut feeling is today about this game here live from Mill Creek Brewing Company, presented by Nashville Power Sports. If you want a custom golf cart, go to NashvillePowersports.com, because they're locally owned and operated in the mid-state. Their ownership very involved, hands-on in the product and customer service, because they care about their product and customer service. Whatever custom golf cart you may need to dominate your neighborhood, or if you need it for business, they got it. They can go color scheme, they can go speed, they can go 2-seater, 4-seater, 6-seater, whatever it is. They got a custom golf cart, Titans themed, here at Mill Creek Brewing Company, but hit them up at NashvillePowersports.com.
Yeah, we'll post a picture and go to our Instagram feed. You can see this souped up ride from Nashville Power Sports that has the Titans logo right there. It is awesome. We'll post it on our Instagram so you can take a look. It could be yours. I guarantee they'll sell it to you. You just got to ask.
That's true. That Titans golf cart from Nashville Power Sports. All right, Zach, read the gut comments. What's your gut comment? How gut feeling, however you want to go about it.
So Brent brings up another grinded out for the win type game. Curtis says, need to hold on to the ball. We win and become the number one seed. That's Michael's gut. You got to respect that. We are getting a little bit of prediction, so hold your horses there, Bo G on YouTube. We'll get to those predictions a little bit later on. Kelly says defense comes to play. The Titans get the dub in a close one. Here's my gut feeling.
Okay.
Again, I woke up feeling good. I still feel good about the Titans winning this game today, and I think it could be in a dominating fashion. What's the spread?
Steelers -1. I've seen it Titans -2. I've seen it Steelers -2.5, and everywhere in between.
And that tells us about the gut feeling, right? This is a guts game. If that line is wavering,
the Vegas has no idea,
right? And all the other spreads are,
there's 10 games today. I think 6 of them are over 10. One of them might be 9, but hell, I mean, that's pretty damn close.
Well, look, they sealed.
Jordan says it's even now.
Well, and they sealed Urban Meyer's fate last week in Nashville, right?
Yep. That was easy.
I do think that this game plan, this is what I expect. This is my gut. I think the Titans get out to an early lead. And I believe if the Titans get that early lead, they will hold on and do what they need to do. Mike Vrabel and this team know the importance of this game. It's important to Pittsburgh, don't get me wrong. They're 6-1 in the AFC North, up and down, who knows, right? But the Titans are vying for something a little bit more. And if they lose this game, man, that Colts win last night really starts to creep up on you.
Yes. No, Ben. A.J. Brown is not playing. I don't know how many times we have to go over this. A.J. Brown will be eligible to return off of IR for next week's game against the Niners on Thursday night. But what's your gut feeling about this game?
I like this comment from Dion.
Yeah.
Start fast and finish faster.
Ooh, I mean, that's a Titans t-shirt if I've ever heard one.
Poster board material.
Yeah.
That's what Mike Vrabel, he's got 3 keys every week. It's posted up. They got digital video screens throughout the facility. I like start fast, finish faster. That gets me pumped up. Like Dion. Shout out to Dion.
Sounds great. Will it happen? Because the Titans are not a fast-starting team this year. We've been over the first opening drive stats a lot. Now, they improved that last week by scoring a touchdown on the opening drive against the hapless Jaguars. Can they do that against the Steelers? I'm not putting my money on the Titans getting off to a fast start. I'm also not putting my money on the Steelers to get off to a fast start. Both these teams are better finishers than they are starters, as you saw on Thursday night with the Vikings and Steelers 2 weeks ago. I guess it was last week in that game where the Steelers fought back to try to get back into it, but they dug themselves in a hole. So for me, my gut did not feel good about this game. I trust the Titans defense. I don't trust the Titans offense, because even with the 20-0 win over the Jags last week, the Titans offense, and then they could afford to do this, but they put that thing in cruise control and just went down the interstate, Sunday driving, looking around. Right?
How did they start?
They started well.
10 plays, 74 yards, chalking up 4 minutes and 57 seconds of the clock in the first quarter, ended with a touchdown. That's how they have to start. I think they showed, and we talked about this, history, they haven't done that many times.
They've scored 2 touchdowns on 13 of their games on opening drive.
And I think they can do that today.
And the Jags.
Right?
And then they got 3 points against the Jets.
Right?
So that's it. That's the only opening drive scores they've had in 13 games this season.
Well, that will set the tone for this game, right? And that
should.
It should.
I don't expect it to happen, just because I still don't trust Todd Downing with the offensive personnel that they currently have. I don't trust Foreman or Hilliard to be consistent. I want AJ to prove it to me, or I'm sorry, Julio to prove it to me before I can go out here and predict that Julio is going to have a significant impact on the game. We know how this tight end position is. NWI, what's he going to do? I just don't believe in what the Titans have on offense to get it done consistently. So I'm not going to, bet on them going out there and having a fast start.
Watch out for Foreman. 13 carries last week. I think he will get closer to 15 this week. We've seen him break some runs. I know he fumbled against the Patriots. That was not a good look, but he's starting to kind of get his sea legs, right? Back from the NFL, he's picked up, and he's made an impact inch by inch by inch. I believe they look at that Vikings tape. They take advantage of maybe TJ Watt not being 100%. Watch out for Foreman. My bold prediction.
Oh, already early for a bold prediction.
I think he gets close, and I'll just bold it. I'm bolding it. I think he gets over 100 yards today, and that would be something.
Okay. So
Foreman. Watch Foreman.
So we have a Ryan Tannehill topic we're going to get to in a second. I do have one key. I've got 2 keys for this game. One of them's Tannehill, but I'll start on defense. Because Ben Roethlisberger, what is Ben Roethlisberger now? Over the last 2 years, he's getting rid of the ball fast. It's catch the snap in the shotgun, look, throw. It's under 2.5 seconds. He gets it the fastest in the NFL, gets it out of his hands faster than any other NFL quarterback the last couple of seasons. And so what does that tell me? Look, Jeff Simmons, Harold Landry, Danico Autry, and Bud Dupree back today, those guys are massive. One, get your hands up. But that's not where I'm going. I'm going with challenge the wide receivers at the line of scrimmage. It's hard to throw quick when you've got a DB up in your face. And what does this Titans team struggle with? Challenging wide receivers at the line of scrimmage, because we've all seen the screenshots. 3rd and 4. Now, Jack Rabbit's on the couch today, but he's not going to be 7 yards lined up on a wide receiver on 3rd and 4. So Christian Fulton, Buster Screen, who has a lot of experience playing against Big Ben when he was with the Browns for 4 years. So can they get up in the face of Claypool, Johnson, and some of these other wide receivers, Washington, and challenge them early in the down so Big Ben can't just make a quick throw to get out of his hands, to allow for Dupree, Simmons, Landry, and Autry to get after him a little bit more.
And maybe they take advantage of Claypool thinking about his next Fortnite dance.
Maybe that would be nice.
And maybe be a little distracted, who you never know.
Yeah.
But I like that scheme, coming to the line of scrimmage with your corners, pushing them, making them get off of their route early, and forcing Big Ben to make some decisions. And this late in his career, makes it tough for him.
All right, so that's my defensive key. Challenge the wide receivers early in the down, up on the line of scrimmage, to avoid the Big Ben quick throws, right? My second key is Ryan Tannehill. And it's going to be the same thing until Derrick Henry and A.J. Brown come back. Move Tannehill around. I don't trust David Questenberry against Watt. Do you? I don't trust little Aaron Brewer, who is an undersized offensive line, playing against Cam Hayward.
No.
I don't trust Nate Davis playing against Cam Hayward up front.
No.
So move Ryan Tannehill. Roll him out, slide the pocket, do something. Use play action, damn it. Todd Downing, use play action to slow these guys down. And move Ryan Tannehill. You can't just let him catch the snap, drop back, and stand there. He's going to get his head knocked off. The Jags almost did it last week. Move Ryan Tannehill.
I like that. And I think we've been kind of, since Henry went out, AJ went out, and Julio went out during the stretch where not everybody is there, I don't feel like Todd Downing has done a good job of that. And we speak to this in post-game shows. We talk about it during the week. I think that could be a good strategy for Downing if it's executed, because Ryan Tannehill's legs are a threat.
Yeah.
And when you threaten the defense with legs and a quarterback's athletic ability, it opens up passing lanes.
Make TJ Watt run. He's got a groin injury. Make him move. Make him run and chase. Do a screen opposite. Whatever. Run away from him. Make him chase somebody to test that groin out. Maybe he tweaks it. I don't know.
Well, that leads us into something that we have never done on this pregame show. We do on our postgame show, and we help live notifications on. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, a lot of people watch on YouTube, ring that bell and get your live notifications on, because the postgame show, one question we always ask, and you guys do a great job of this, is grade Ryan Tannehill. We've seen Fs. We saw it earlier this year when he had 4 picks. We've seen A-plus games before.
I don't know if we've seen an A-plus game this year. I don't think we've had an A-plus game this year. I think A- might be Tannehill's best.
I thought there was one game.
I don't know, man. I don't think we've had an A-plus game. It's been too roller coaster of a season offensively with personnel for Tannehill to have an A-plus. But we're going to predict Ryan Tannehill's grade today. Let's predict it. What do you think? What type of game do you predict Ryan Tannehill to have? A-plus through F. What do you think it's going to be? Because I think Tannehill has to play really clean in order for the Titans to get enough points on the board to take care of the Steelers today.
This is a good question, because Ryan Tannehill, as you said, is the key.
Yep.
If he plays well and they run the football, they utilize play action, and he can help the defense, and the defense there until can help Ryan Tannehill, you got to score touchdowns in the red zone. That's another thing that has been uniquely different about this season compared to the last couple under Arthur Smith. When Arthur Smith was the offensive coordinator, you got in the red zone. That red area meant 6.
Mm-hmm.
But not this year as much. How can Ryan Tannehill take advantage today?
And he's had 6 finger rolls this year. So could he get a 7th, right?
Legs.
And move Ryan Tannehill. So a lot of B's coming in when we're predicting Ryan Tannehill's grade today.
All right, let me stop you there.
Okay.
Austin, question. Will a B performance beat the Steelers today?
I think it can.
Okay.
Yeah. I think a B is good enough. You don't have to be spectacular. I think a B is good enough because the Titans defense is good enough to win you this game. Ryan Tannehill and the Titans offense just can't put the Titans defense in a bad situation where the Steelers don't have to move the ball and score points. Because in the losses to the Texans, the Texans got 13 points off of turnovers, and they didn't have to move the ball that much because the Titans turned the ball over in their own territory. Like the Texans were getting free field goals out here. You can't afford to do that today.
So I'll say this. I predict that during our postgame show that we will grade Ryan Tannehill with a B+. That's my prediction.
Okay.
Well, the best part is we'll find out. We'll be here. So will you guys. You should come in. I'm about to grab a smash burger right here at Mill Creek. Sit down and watch this
I'm
game.
hungry.
A B+, but here's the caveat, Austin. What will Ben Roethlisberger's grade be? And I predict Ben Roethlisberger C-. So that's kind of foreshadowing what the prediction could be from me. Ryan Tannehill has to outperform Ben Roethlisberger. And that defense stepping up, the Titans defense, they can't, and I'm going to go back in a time machine.
Yeah.
The Steelers beat the Titans at home. It almost went to overtime. Missed field goal by Gostkowski. Remember that?
Yep. Both teams 5-0.
Ben Roethlisberger came out hot. Slant routes. They were giving them. They were doing exactly the opposite of what the Titans defense you want them to do. They were not pressing. I think it's important for Ben Roethlisberger to not start out slow like they did against the Vikings last Thursday and play catch up. It was not enough, right?
Yeah.
I think the Titans take advantage.
So Jason says Roethlisberger threw for 308 last week. Tannehill very rarely breaks 300. It's not about passing yards, Jason.
Efficiency.
And that's because why did Big Ben throw for 308 last game? It's because the Vikings got out to like a 3-touchdown lead and they had to throw the ball. And so I think the more passing yards Big Ben has today, the better the chance the Titans have of winning. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think if play the script of the Vikings game, because the Steelers want to run the football. As I'm watching the pregame, the Titans, Zach, look at that TV over there. The Titans are gathering at midfield.
They woke up like I woke up.
They woke up ready to fight. The Titans woke up ready to fight. Aaron says the Titans just met on the logo. Let's go. You know what that means. You know what that means. Mike Vrabel is a certain type of pissed off today.
We've seen it in Baltimore, right?
Yes. So, again, real quick before we move on to our game predictions, I think Tannehill is a B- today. I expect a turnover. I don't expect a bunch of production, but he's got to be clutch in the beginning and the end of this game.
So I said B+, you said B-. If we meet in the middle and it's a B, the Titans win, right?
I believe so.
So there you go. We'll find out. That's the best part.
Prediction time here live at Mill Creek Brewing Company. I'm about to put my food order in right as we wrap up this pregame show presented by Nashville Power Sports. Prediction time, Zach. I'm looking at the BetMGM app right now. It's Steelers -1. That is the spread as of right now. The total is 43.5. 43.5. Titans money line still -105, so not plus money there. But who wins this game? What are your predictions? I want to see these score predictions here. But don't forget, download the BetMGM app. Use our code ATOZ Sports. Get a risk-free bet up to $1,000 with your first deposit and first bet. That's at BetMGM, code ATOZ Sports. Risk-free bet up to $1,000 after your first deposit with your first bet. Prediction time.
All right. We got a lot of Titans, 27-17, 31-20 from Steven, 23-17. A lot of Titans wins, and that's not surprising.
Yeah, Titans audience.
I'm going to go. I have not picked this particular number. I usually have some separation. I think this is a close game. I'm going 24-23.
It's too many points.
24-23. The Titans win. I think the Titans are the number 1 seed in the AFC by the end of the day. Blood in the water. Mike Vrabel, what kind of coach are you? Bring your own guts. Today, and Mike Vrabel proved it last week, and I put some pressure on Vrabel in this pregame show, said, how are you going to perform against the Jags? They blanked him 20-0. Blood in the water. Midfield logo, that tells me something, and that tells me the Titans are going to win today.
It's almost noon. It's almost that time. 17-13 Steelers.
Ooh. It's a good thing for Titans fans because usually when you pick against the Titans win. So
17-13 Steelers win. I was a missed Randy Bullock field goal away from nailing the Titans points last week against the Jags. I just don't think they can get in the end zone enough today. Who's scoring touchdowns? I asked that last week. Who's scoring touchdowns for this team?
Foreman.
He scored one last week. That was his first one of his season.
Big day for Foreman. That's I've put myself out there. If Foreman gets 100 yards, they're going to win this football game. And I think they can.
Well, the one time that Foreman did get 100 yards, they lost.
Well, but they were playing catch up, and we know the ins and outs of that game against the Patriots. They can run the football against this Pittsburgh defense. And that's very unique because usually Pittsburgh's got a stifling run defense.
They don't.
Not this
year. They don't. But, I think they have to throw to win this game too. So 17-13, I think it's just one touchdown and a couple field goals from Fat Randy.
You got to love it. December football, all on the line, 9-4, trying to get to 10-4, and be in the driver's seat for the King to get that number 1 seed in that bye, which I have put so much weight and even more weight people are starting to come back. Julio's back. Bud Dupree's back. A.J. Brown not back this week. But very soon, they got to think about what their position is in the playoffs. Today, they can show that.
All right, Titans win the toss and defer. Big Ben gets the ball first. Titans on defense. We'll see you right here at the same spot, same channels for the halftime show. Thanks again to NashvillePowersports.com, BetMGM, and as always, Mill Creek Brewing Company in Nolensville. Enjoy the first half. We will see you guys at